With yet another video, and hopefully you will find this one useful. The beginning steps all the way to the end in organizing your files to make sure that they are in the right place. When you go to edit, they are in the right place, and some tricks and techniques of how to double check and make sure that everything is working properly. So for starts, I'm going to go into the course and do something as if I have never done it before, and that is to download the files for the exercises that are in the book. I'm doing this because I want to show you the first thing I do is I want to make those downloaded to the desktop. So that's a 42 megabyte file. It should be done momentarily. Okay, now that that is completed, I will go to the next screen over, which is a blank desktop. And before I unzip this file right here, I am going to create a new folder. This coming weeks will be chapter 5. So I'm going to put CHAPT_5. This one I'm going to open, and I know within this folder that the book instructs you to follow. Under Town Hall 1, I have images, speakers, styles, templates, text, and the index file. Well, I might as well just copy them all. So I'm copying. Notice I'm not moving, I'm only making a copy. I want to keep the originals. Over here, safe someplace. And within my styles, these are being changed per exercise. So every time you do the exercises, you will have a new one. Now when I go to actually open this into brackets, I want to right click, and I'll just say open with brackets. Make it a little bit easier for myself. What I have to do in this line right here, which you should already have set up by now because you had to do it in the chapter 4 exercise, is link rel equals, and these are going to be style sheets, so we'll put S for style sheet, enter, space. Where is that going to be? If you type in href, you just type in H and E equals, or just H, and then you see it highlighted, enter. If you do not see a folder that says styles, then you've already done something wrong. I saw styles, and now I see that it automatically, by pressing enter after I highlighted it, it put a slash and now gives me other options. Well, I want it to be main. I'm done. The only thing I have to do is that. Now I am ready to move on. Your main CSS should always be the last one you put in, and your ICO file, that should already be taken care of. This is the template file that you saw me open that I downloaded. It already has header to header, main, footer, footer. Do not delete these. It will tell you exactly what to do. So when you are going to your CSS file, which we're going to open next, open, and I notice I only open one at a time. Chapter 5, styles, main. Opening one at a time keeps me from having the confusion of seeing where files are located. If you look up here, it says user CM Sturgeon desktop chapt _5 styles main. Okay, what I want to absolutely make sure is that when I'm making changes, that this, where this one says href styles/main, they are under the folder styles/main, which should be within the chapter 5 folder. I look at main, it says chapter 5. So I know that they're going to be in there. It's the one that I automatically put next door. Look, see what I did? I put them, when I say next door, it's the index file, which I am editing, is right next to the styles folder that has the CSS in it. It has all of these CSS files. Now, since you've already done chapter 4, you will have a lot of the CSS already completed. So you don't have to worry about starting from scratch, but to expand, add to what you already have. So now when it tells you that you need to put an H2 in here, which chapter 4 tells you that, if I recall correctly, I want something to be different. Be creative. This is an opportunity to do so. I'll put the H3 in, and then I'll put, this is our 180th anniversary. And I know that that's not what your book says, but the content itself is not as important as making sure you do the coding properly. Now it says in your H2 that you're going to code your H2 with a rule set that has a specific color and size. But it says, so rule sets, as you may recall, are right here in CSS. So rule set starts with, since the H2 is in header, we have to say header space H2. And we have a color, and let's go with even though I don't know what color that is, I can roll my mouse over it and I see, okay, that's not going to be visible. So I can hit Command E, and then I get the box where I can pick a specific color. Okay, I want real dark purple, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so I've got a color, and now I have a font size, and let's go with 125%. So we're increasing it a little bit to make it closer to an H1, but not quite. Now, every H2 that you have back over in your index file, every H2 that is not between this and this, every H2 outside of this can have a different rule set. If you do not do anything in the CSS, it will be by default H2 size and black, and it will be a serif font. So in here you may want to say font family and make it a serif or sans serif font. Let's say that's what you're going for. Well, the same thing happens if it said to tell you to make a header it said to create a rule set for your H3 in the header. Same thing, H3, but it's a separate rule set, and you also have more control. So let's do 33cc 99. I have no idea what that is, but we'll see. And I want this font family to be fantasy. I'm going to Command S. Now when I go over here, these two had no effect until I just did this. Until I just did the CSS. So now I can display. I now have this code right here, or this display. The reason this has the blue on it is because my cursor is on that specific item in the CSS. So it's on fantasy. If I click my cursor down here and go back to my preview, now you can see what the preview looks like. So that is what we accomplished. If I want to indent, then I can tell it to indent. But again, I will want to indent in here. It's text hyphen indent, and I want to go in 30 pixels, let's say, for my H2. Command S. Because it's still gold down here, I don't have to hit preview again. It's ready to show. The San Joaquin Fruit Factory indented, 30 pixels there. And it looks like that. Now, if I want to do the same, I would add the same line here. Also, in your book, it said to add a rule set to your main element. Well, that's main. And it said main H1, I believe, or main H. That was both chapters 3 and 4 and 5. The other thing that I want to make sure that you are aware of is when you roll over your text and you want to see the font make a change, it was specifically doing it for links in the chapter 4 assignment. So I'm going to show you in main. We're just going to create a link. Let's make this link to, and most sites have the S in it, so it'll convert it though. And then you would put I hit Command S, and my preview looks like this. It's just that right there. However, I want to remove the underline decoration, that's referred to as a decoration, and for it to turn italic when I roll over it. So I have to create a rule set that says A: hover, comma, A: focus, meaning it's going to actually focus on that. In other words, pay attention to, in this case, and it will be font style italic semicolon. Text decoration line, I believe is what I just saw. TEXT decoration. Let's go with style. And double. Make it double. Just to make it interesting. Command S. I'm going to click outside of the CSS so you can preview it in the HTML. Go over to HTML. Command S again just to make sure. And preview. And when I roll over it, the lines double and it italicizes. Now you can make the lines double, or you can make one above and one below by default. All kinds of things you can do like that that are under your text decorations. This would not have worked if I had not linked the CSS file properly. Keyword properly. If it was not in the styles folder and I was only editing the main.css from the files that we download, it would not have worked. So I hope that helps to get you started, and I will be putting another one together that will help in making the sites go online, or your pages go online, and go through the steps so that you can do that on your own. Thank you very much. Enjoy.